So what do you do during a pandemic when everyone is stuck at home and everyone's bored? You get a puppy. You want to meet everyone? Ow! This is Luna, the new member of the family. Yeah, I know, she doesn't want to be on my lap. Okay, stop.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.
Hey everyone, this is Jamie Cassup and welcome back to my studio. It's been a couple weeks since I posted a video. Ever since I posted that video for teachers, offering them the opportunity for me to come into their classrooms, I've been busier than all get out with meeting after meeting after meeting, visiting classes all over the world. This week, I was in Ethiopia and Kazakhstan in the same week, one at 11:30 at night and the other one at 5:30 in the morning. It's been a crazy week. We've been having a lot of meetings via video, whether they are team meetings, one-to-one meetings, webinars, podcasts. Everything is happening online using video conferencing, whether that is Zoom or Google Meet or BlueJeans or WebEx, if that's still around. All these different platforms, we've been having 100% video conference calls one way or the other. And ever since I made that offer to educators, my schedule has been packed, jam-packed with video meetings that go on all day sometimes. And there's been a lot of talk about video fatigue, right? It's called Zoom fatigue, where people are saying that they are feeling exhausted and frustrated being on video calls all day and how they much rather have an in-person meeting than a video meeting. And I completely disagree. I much rather be on a video call than an in-person meeting. First, you got to travel there. I have to get in my car and drive somewhere. And now that it's 190 degrees outside, that's the last thing I want to do. And then you're in the building, you start looking for the conference room and you have to leave 20 minutes early just to find the conference room. And then you get to the location and you are looking for the meeting room and you're looking on maps, these maps that were created by 6-year-olds on Animal Crossing, or you are Indiana Jones looking for the Temple of Doom. There's a room in Mountain View that is impossible to find. There are 6 Googlers that we're missing because they once went off to try to find that meeting room and they never came back. Poof! They just disappeared like the Bermuda Triangle of meeting rooms. And then you get to the room and it's this little tiny room with 6 chairs for 6 people and 12 people show up and you're all trying to stuff yourself into this windowless room. It's hot. There's not enough chairs. You're borrowing chairs from the hallway. You're all crammed in together. There's no room to put anything. You have that awkward, who do I sit next to? And then nobody sits next to me. People are coming in late, people are walking in and out. You end up playing footsies with the person across from you at the table and you don't know if it's real or not. You think you're sitting there staring out into space and then you realize that the person you're staring at turns and looks at you and is wondering why you're staring at them, and now you have that awkward thing to deal with for the rest of the meeting. And you can't look in that direction anymore. And then someone puts on way too much Polo cologne and you have to sit there and smell that smell like you are a junior in high school. People are bringing food in, either the food stinks or you find yourself judging a person for what they're eating.
Hot Pockets! Try Lean Pockets too.
Or it makes you hungry because you realize you haven't eaten in 12 hours. And then of course, you got the person next to you who hasn't brushed their teeth in 7 years. I much prefer video meetings. I have my own space. I can spread out all my stuff. I can have notes. I can have cheat notes. For all those people who had meetings with me recently and you think I come up with really good ideas, no, I just put up books of really famous authors and I just keep them there and I just read the things that are in those books. I don't have to drive anywhere. I don't have to dress up. I don't even have to wear pants if I don't want to. Now you're wondering if I'm wearing pants, huh? You're never gonna know. So why am I having this experience with video meetings while it seems like everyone else is having a terrible experience? Well, a video meeting is like any other communication. You have to create the conditions to have a good communication. It's the same thing whether you and I are sitting face to face in a cafeteria or we're doing this via video. And it's all about the setting. The setting is one of the most important things that you can focus on because that's where the communication takes place. You would never go to a football game and break up with your girlfriend in the middle of the 4th quarter. Unless, of course, she's a Cowboys fan. Then you should probably have never dated her in the first place. Yeah, that was for you, Juliana. So the setting matters. And in the case of video, this is the settings. This is what we need to work on. And I want to talk about video and audio and settings and all those things, but at the heart of all of this is connectivity. 99.9% of the people that I talk to on video chats are not plugged into their router, and that's insane to me. That's the most important thing that you can do, and it would solve so many problems. Everyone is using Wi-Fi, but because people don't understand how the internet works, they don't realize that if they just plug into their router, they would get a much better signal. They would get a consistent signal. Find that old cable, and then you can plug that into your laptop. And of course, unless your laptop is from 1985, you're not gonna actually have a port to plug your Ethernet cable in. You're probably gonna have to get an adapter. You're gonna get a much better signal right off the bat. And once you do that, you're gonna take care of so many issues. You're not gonna have video that looks worse than the video that was shot when they landed on the moon in 1969.
That's one small step for man.
Your audio is not gonna sound like you're trying to decode someone's speech because their words keep breaking up. Do that first, and that'll take care of a lot of issues. Now, let's talk about the other setting pieces. The experience that you have on video conference calls, you're responsible for half of it. The content stays the same, it's the quality of the interaction. And here's an example. If you watched a new Star Wars movie in an IMAX theater like I did the first time, that is an experience. You feel like you're in it. You feel like a Jedi. You are all in it. You're sweating, you're scared, you're nauseous from everything moving around. You are in the movie. Compare that to watching a Star Wars movie holding it up on your phone like this. What's this experience? It's the same content, but huge difference in experience. Okay, so let's break it down. There is receiving communication, and then there's sending communication. And within that, there is audio and video. So let's break it down. Let's talk about receiving first. How are you listening to the content that's coming through in the video exchange? Are you listening to it on the 99-cent speakers that came through your laptop? Or are you listening to it on those cheap headphones, these things that came free with your phone? How much do you think these cost? Don't listen to the content that way. You need to step it up. Again, IMAX theater versus your phone. Invest in some speakers. I have these Bose speakers sitting on my desk, and so I'm listening to really rich, deep sound. So when someone's speaking, I can hear tone, I can hear everything. And you should get either really good speakers or semi-good speakers, but even like a Bluetooth speaker that you got at a conference that's stuck somewhere in your closet, use that. Now, video. There's a good chance that you're watching the video on your laptop screen, and you're probably not even using the whole screen because you have a little tiny box open in the corner so that you can follow along in the video, and then you have your email open up here because you think you can multitask and do things at the same time. And we already talked about how you can't multitask and how that's just a lie. And then when someone's speaking, you're like looking at like, Karen, is that you? I can't see you. If all you have is your laptop, at least use the whole screen. I recommend using a monitor. Again, with a monitor, you can have a nice big image, almost life-size, so that you can actually see the person. You can see nonverbal communication. You can see face expressions. Okay, so that's receiving. Now let's talk about sending. What most people don't realize is that the most important aspect of a video call is not the video, it's the audio. There's studies about this. People will listen to bad video, but they will not watch bad audio. Ooh, I just made that up. So the most important thing that you can focus on is audio. And again, what are you using to send out your audio content? Are you using the microphone that came with your laptop? Most mics on laptops are terrible. Or are you using the 99-cent headphones that came free with your phone? Is this the mic that you're using? Get yourself a good microphone. I use the Rode NTG video mic. It's a great mic. It's a little expensive, but I can use it for multiple purposes. I have it plugged into my camera like I do now and get rich, good sound. And then I can plug it into my laptop and do conference calls that way. Or I use this blue mic here as well. Use something better than the mic that came with your laptop. Or worse, the mic that comes on those headphones. Pay attention to where the sound is going. I can't tell you how many calls I've been in, how many I've seen on TV of like pundits calling into news show where it sounds like they're in a tunnel. It sounds like they're in a cave.
City of ordinary people across the country.
Pay attention to where the sound travels. Sound bounces off of hard surfaces. Make sure you have things that can absorb the sound. If you are in a room with hardwood floors or tile floor and there's not a lot of furniture in the room, you're gonna get a really bouncy echo. It just bounces off the wall and back at you, creating that sound. Use a room that has a rug or a carpet, and or put up blankets. If you don't have sound blankets, obviously most people don't have sound blankets, just use regular blankets and hang them up around you so that when you're speaking, the sound gets absorbed by those blankets and you get a much richer sound. And when it comes to video, we already talked about how important it is to be connected to your router. That way you can avoid that terrible video quality that you get with most video conference calls.
But it is something that has to be stopped.
And you want to pay attention to the lighting source, right? So for me here, this is a relatively dark studio for where my desk is. And so I need an additional light. So I have this big light here. I have a fill light here. I have an overhead light that gives me a hair light. You don't have to do this. You can just take a lamp and shine it on your face. Or better yet, sit by a window. Natural light is the best light. Don't sit in front of the window. Oh, it's cool. I'm gonna have the window in my background, and you end up looking like you're in a witness protection program. Face the window, put the camera in front, so that when you are looking at the camera, that light is hitting your face. It's the best light you can get. And of course, one of the most important things that you can focus on is the camera that you're using. Most people are using the camera that came with their laptop. So at best, they're getting a 720p HD signal coming out of that camera. And most of us are used to watching things in 4K or 1080p. And so right off the bat, even with the best laptop cameras, it's gonna look grainy compared to what people are used to. Or they're using their video conference camera that they bought in 1992. Invest in a good camera, either a good HD 1080p minimum camera that you can attach to your laptop, or better yet, use a real camera. What I'm using here, what you're looking at here, is a Sony camera plugged into an HDMI capture cable that's plugged into my laptop. And what that means is that I all of a sudden turn this really good camera into a webcam. And you don't have to use an expensive camera like this. You can use any camera that has an HDMI out as part of the camera. And you're gonna get really good video quality. You're gonna get this blurry background, this rich bokeh back here that people love. So you can see the background, but you can't see the background. You can see my notes, my to-do notes, but you can't see my to-do notes. And your lens is gonna matter. So you wanna use something that's between 16 and 24 full frame equivalent. If you wanna know what that means, ask me. But something that's wide. So right now, you're watching this on 24. It gives you enough where you can see my background, you can see me. So it's not a close-up lens, so you're looking at this. And you also wanna keep your camera level to your eyeballs, even if you use your laptop camera. I can't tell you how many people I'm having a conversation with and their laptop is down here, so they're looking down at their camera like this, and I can see the things that are in their nose, or they have their camera up on their 64-inch monitor up here, and they're actually like, hey everyone, can you see me? They're doing that. Keep it level, right? When you have a conversation with somebody at a cafe, the person you're meeting with doesn't sit down and then you go stand up on a chair. You're eye to eye, so keep it level. During the video conference, look at the camera when you're speaking. Don't look at the screen. You end up looking like Michelle Bachmann during that State of the Union response.
Look no further to see why jobs are moving overseas.
Okay, and finally, here's some quick tips of things that you can do during the call. 1, make sure that you are either on mute or not on mute, depending on what's happening. So if you're not speaking and you have a lot of background noise, put yourself on mute. I don't get a lot of background noise because I'm the only one here in my studio, so I don't have to keep my thing on mute. And one of the really cool features in Zoom is that you can use a space bar as an on and off switch for your mic. So you can just be on mute, and when you want to speak, you hit the space bar and you speak, and then when you're done, you just let it go and it goes back to mute. It's kind of like you're testifying in Congress. Yes, Madam Speaker, that is correct. I do know how to cha-cha. when you are speaking, just keep going if someone else starts speaking. One of the most annoying things about video calls is you start speaking and then someone else starts speaking and you're like, oh no, Bob, you go. No, Bob, you go. What? Oh. And then it's like being at one of those stop signs where two cars stop at the same time and you both do this for 10 minutes. If you're speaking and you hear someone else speak because of the delay, just keep speaking.
Well, if you look around, there's...
Okay, that's what I have for video calls. You can have good, in-depth, enriching conversations through video if you have the right setting. So you might have to invest a little bit or use other tools and resources that are around you to kind of beef up your audio video quality that you're using for your calls. What tips do you guys have? What things have you picked up along the way? Jot those down below, let us know, and we can start a dialogue, conversation. If you have any questions, let me know. Be happy to answer them. That's all I have for now, so enjoy your Thursday. See you guys next time. Yeah, I can hear everyone. Karen. Karen, is that you? Can you see me? I can't. No, I can't. Hello? Can you guys hear me? Oh, are we on? Hey, everyone. I can't hear anyone. I can't read lips.